So today, I would like to talk about what to do if you think you're too old for picking up girls. Now, I understand, if you're above the age of 40, you might get all of these thoughts watching these videos. Even not actually 40, even if you're above 30, some people get these thoughts like, am I too old for this? Can I start this thing at the age of 33 or 35 and above? So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do if you find yourself in this position. So guys, welcome to TheBroThing. This is Arunav, and today I wanted to dive deep into some of the limiting factors that will hold you back if you think you're too old for this. Now I want to share a quick story before I even get started. Now, a couple of months back, we had this boot camp client who attended a boot camp. His age was 40 years old, and this guy had done great in his life. He was on a really high executive level job, but however, when it came to women, he was completely clueless. And he had a lot of limiting factors. He worked as the top executive for his firm. However, when it came to women, he was completely clueless. A lot of times what happens is we get so busy in our mundane life that we completely forget to work on our social skills. And because of this, when he arrived on the boot camp initially, he had a lot of limiting factors. And what are these limiting factors, right? He had a lot of thoughts like, I'm too old for this. These girls won't even talk to me. Indian society condemns girls from being with an elder man, and so on and so forth. Now you have to understand, being out of the dating game for a long time can get you a lot of limiting factors and a lot of limiting beliefs. Now you might have to do it for your business, for your job, for your ambitions, right? Whatever the case might be. It decreases your self-confidence and your self-worth, and gradually you fall into a state of learned helplessness. Now let me explain this process. So a while back, scientists did a study, an experiment with dogs. Now these dogs were put in a maze, a maze where you have to figure the way out, and put in chains. And these dogs were then given an electric shock. Now what happened is, initially the dogs tried to escape the maze, right? However, after being shocked a couple of times, and the dogs were in chains, so you have to understand the dogs could not move further. After being in that maze, after being in those chains, the dog just sat there, even after getting these painful shocks. And the reason was because a lot of limiting beliefs formed in the dog's mind, right? Initially, he tried to run, but then he stopped even moving. He stopped even trying, right? And he was still getting these painful electric shocks. And then finally, the chains were removed. And it was shocking to see that the dogs didn't move an inch even after getting the shocks once those chains were removed. And this phenomenon is known as learned helplessness. Now, if you want to read more about this, I would recommend you a book. The book's name is Repeatlessness by Dr. Joe Marcella. And in this book, he talks, about this experiment and how, it can be related to us and what kind of limiting factors hold us back and hold you back, and how to restructure your life completely. Now, if you want to read this book, go ahead, pick this book up. It's a really good book. But I believe even in dating, if you're an old guy, you've not been out in the dating game, and you tend to fall in a state of learned helplessness. Your beliefs become negatives, and your thoughts, become really negative, and it stops you from taking action. And what is action in this case? Approaching a girl, maybe talking to her, right? And you let it go and you let it be till the time comes and you have, finally you have to get married to a stranger who the society chooses for you. And if you think about it, our Indian culture actually promotes this phenomenon by arranged marriage, if you think about it, because it basically acts as a cushion for all those guys who are unable to express themselves, or people who completely skip this part of the life, for whatever reason it might be. Now, what happens is, after these marriages, it's a new topic for another video completely, but nonetheless, they don't survive, right? Most of them don't survive, and both the parties usually end up in a divorce or a messy fights or relationship, because the guy doesn't really know, he doesn't have a clue about social cues or social skills, right? He doesn't have a clue how to live with someone. Now, that was the way before and how it all used to happen. But I want to share with you a quick infield which will encourage you to take action, which will encourage you to go out and subsequently change your life. And this is the story of a guy who took his dating life to another level by taking a program with us, and the rest, well, That is for you to see. Now, even before I share this infield, I want all of you guys to follow me on Instagram so that you can be notified about our regular discounts and our training sessions where you can ask your questions directly to me. Now, without wasting more time, let's get right to it.
Hi, my name is Puneet. I work in the tech sector in India and I'm attending the bootcamp. Frankly, when I enrolled for the bootcamp, my entire approach was that I need to get rid of approach anxiety. The opener was a big sticking point. Also, it was too much in my head, overanalyzing things, not being able to talk to people in general. And my expectation from the bootcamp was to address this problem and then know techniques how to overcome them. Not only that, also see what happens when you overcome those. What kind of space does it lead you into? And also have a better understanding saying where are your weak points, where do you go wrong, what are the right things to do, and when, especially when not to get stuck. First day, I have to admit I was a little nervous as to how the things would go on because it's completely new, a new experience for us. With one thing, I'm looking for a place, for a good dinner place, Connaught place. Suggestions. I have 3 friends who are gonna join me in the night. कोई suggestion है आपके पास? We want to do a sit down dinner, quite अच्छा. No, not with you. With my friends, I'm asking you for a suggestion. But then I think the mentors knew exactly what needed to be done. They walk you through what will be done. They break down the entire day schedule for you, the entire courses schedule for you. Then I think on the first day, they first demonstrate on how to talk to people, how to open people up, how to engage them. And then they make you do it so that you understand it's not just theoretical. They ensure you are aware of your own way that you talk to people, that you interact with people, which is extremely eye-opening. That's something that's very important. And then you understand how you execute the same steps and how they execute the same thing. Understand the differences and then you then bridge the gaps. I think that's a very practical, a very novel way of ensuring you are shown what you're missing. The second day is the real time when you have the opportunity to make leaps, make improvements, make changes. I was here with another person, so we were doing mixed sets, we were gaming together, we were doing individually, all part of the exercises. And the interesting thing was we opened quite a few people and we were able to pull folks on instant dates. That's a huge step in knowing how people respond to you, that within a day how your own game or your own approach changes and how it impacts the other people. And again, they walk you through demonstrations, they show you where you were missing on your first day, and then they push you to improve on those areas. We pulled for instant dates. Extremely impressed with how you change. I mean, the mindset changes that they work on. Extremely impressed with how that gets executed. And I have to admit, day 2 was way better than what I thought or how it would go like. So I'm very happy with how day 2 went, especially. The third day is when you actually get into the nitty-gritties of it. You break down every second, every movement, every step, every word, every expression that has been captured in the infield. And that really brings out a lot of very detailed feedback, information of where you needed to improve, where you needed to push, where you needed to hold back. Day 3 is as important as any other day. This is truly the day where you do the learning, and it more gets ingrained in your head that what are the things you're good at, what you need to improve, plus the exercises that we do, it all helps. So day 3 is equally important. I think I had a wonderful time. A lot of new insights that you gain. The most important takeaways being the blind spots that you don't see for yourself, and the mentors here and the coaches will break it down for you and will help you see those blind spots. Not only that, they will also run you through techniques, run you through exercises to overcome those, not only as just mere classroom exercises, but also demonstrate how it works in field, so you have a better understanding of how to execute those techniques once you're out there talking to a girl or talking to a group. It is definitely worth doing this. It's a very basic social skill that I believe everybody should have. It's just not just about approaching women, it's about knowing what it is to be social, what is the right way to be social. And when you have that out of the way, it makes many things a lot more easier. So I think it's a very basic skill. If you're not comfortable, then I think you definitely need to take this course. I would definitely recommend this boot camp. It really helps. It's not theoretical. You're on the ground, you're in the field, you're working, you're shown what works, you're shown where you're wrong. So I would definitely recommend that people do the boot camp.
Now, if you're a guy who thinks he's too old and wants to get this area of your life sorted, my advice for you to apply for a mentorship course and learn this skill with proper guidance, because we aim at providing you with a community of like-minded people who you can go out with, who you can take action, and the exact steps that you need to follow to break down your approach and completely finish your approach anxiety and take massive action. Now, the guy you saw in the infield has not spoken to a woman outside his profession for quite a while. And if he can do this within 3 days, just imagine the possibilities that you will hold after 3 months of our intense guided mentorship course. This is Arunav. Until next time.